Vitality is our ability to have spiritual, emotional, mental, and physical bliss. Some call it paradise. We call it a game.
Hey all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly values, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey there, my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel. I'm your host, femininity coach, and author of the Crimson Cure, and this is my perspective. So what we're talking about today is why Black women are more educated and less desirable. I'm going to reintroduce a question that was asked on my appearance on the Revolt Daily News, and then we're actually going to get into the answers for that question. So let me go ahead and share the screen. And we're just going to allow her to ask the question. So real quick.
To bring in some data, Yale researchers argue that, quote, marriage chances for highly educated Black women have declined over time relative to white women. Kendra, what do you think attributes to that steady decline?
Here's what I think contributes to that steady decline. And while I answered it on the show, we're going to give a deeper answer. Because I went to the strong and independent, which is true. But there are other aspects also that deal with it. She's not getting married as much as her white female counterpart, who is also just as educated. Here's one reason why. It's the mindset. We know that. But what the key that a lot of Black women don't understand is that most of the white women don't take the academic brainwash over her lived experience with her man. Let me repeat that. On the whole, white women do not accept the academic feminist brainwash over and above her lived experience with her men. For example, if she has had only good experiences overall with the men in her life, from her father to her brothers to her uncles to maybe boyfriends, friends, whatever, if her experiences with other white men has been overwhelmingly positive, then that feminist bone is going to be a lot weaker than a white woman that, let's say, doesn't come from that type of background. If another white woman's lived experience is that she didn't have a father, or maybe her father was abusive, or she always ended up in the wrong place with the wrong men getting treated bad, then that feminist bone going to be a little bit stronger, because it's like, well, if I have to go on my lived experiences, then yeah, you know, these men are trash, right? So white women understand, coming out of college with their degrees, things of that nature, they're going to try to emulate, if they've seen families intact, two-parent homes, that's how they grew up, or that is the tradition of their families, things of that nature, they're going to try to implement that. They don't learn at the core of everything to have white male misandry. They don't really learn it, and they don't really absorb it the way Black women absorb it. See, they go through the same channel and come out a different end. And Black women are going to have to start understanding why you went in the same door and went out two different doors at the end of it. See, they're going in the same door you're going in, but they school, you know, they segregated it some way. Somewhere you didn't learn what they learned, and you didn't take from it what they took from it. When they leave out of college, they don't see themselves as never being married and being okay with that and being proud of that. They don't really see themselves that way. They eventually see themselves, no matter what type of profession that I, try to become part of, or what I'm trying to do in my life, they don't see themselves as perpetually single. Black women do. And a Black woman's lived experience does not trump the academic experience. Because there are plenty of Black women who have the lived experience I described for white women. Their father was there in the home. He wasn't abusive. He wasn't doing anything crazy in there. He was just doing what men do. He was providing. He was being a father. He was being a husband. Their brothers always protected them, and their uncles were good to them. They might have had a few hiccups here and there with boyfriends, but overall, the vast majority of their experiences with Black men were positive experiences. No particular traumas or anything like that. But that Black woman will not accept the lived experience over the academic brainwash. See, Black women believe what is said in gender studies classes. They believe all of the cultural cues. You actually believe it. You believe it. You take it to heart. And the reason why it's so easy for you to take it to heart is because the institution actually reinforces what you've been learning growing up as a little girl from your mother, disguised as wisdom, or what the old folk call mother wit. Don't trust Black men. Don't believe them. You learn the lost value system disguised as wisdom. And within the lost value system is the concept that Black men have no intrinsic or inherent human value. You also learn that you, as a Black woman, must always be a perpetual victim, and it is Black men who are the direct oppressors and tyrants, and who are directly responsible for any bad situation that you find yourself in. Not white supremacy, not the institution, not none of this other stuff, not none of the other stuff that Black people have been talking about. Whoop, whoop, whoop. No. Your direct problem and your indirect problem is always and will forever be Black men. Your father, whether he was there or not, was problematic. If he's absent, that's problematic. If he was there, he's still problematic, because even if he wasn't abusive, he was trying to run something. And we're taught that that's toxic, that Black men don't have a right to run their families. And if they do exercise that right, they're automatically, that is a toxic masculine trait that he should not have displayed. Right? So you learn in at home indirectly from your mother, the way she treat men, watching how the Black women around you treat the men, that they are never to be trusted. They're never to be like, you use them for two things. You use them for money, you use them for sex. That's the only value he'll ever have, the only value he should ever have. Right? So when you go to school, they reinforce that with the stats that y'all like to repeat. For years, you've been repeating the same stat. Every 5 hours, a Black man murderizes a Black woman, all this other kind of stuff. You repeat them stats. Them stats in the same stats for 5 years. Stat ain't changed at all. Is nothing. No change. Anyway. So when you go to school, that stuff gets reinforced with stats and statistics and studies and this and that. That all to create the victim mentality that Black women already have. So when you come out of school, you justify in the position that you in And this is how you end up denying your lived experience if it contradicts the misandrous lessons that you have been learning. This is the strength of the biological programming. Even the presence of good Black men in your life does not change the misandry that you now carry and that you have. The misandry itself has to exist for the programming to work effectively for you. Feminism does not work without misandry. It works especially well for Black women because we already see ourselves as victims of the whole world. So what's to add one more type of victimization that's done by the men closest to you and the men you actually seek out? Not realizing that it's the misandry that gets layered in that actually makes these women undesirable. Because it's at the root of the disrespect, of the rebelliousness, and the non-compliance. The misandry. And Black women disguise it as, well, I don't trust I don't trust the foresight of these men. I don't trust the judgment of these men. I don't trust the competency of these men. I don't trust the intelligence level of Black men in general across the board. So this is why I'll get with him for money and sex, but I'll never actually hand over anything that I actually value to him because he's worthless. He's useless. He doesn't have any intrinsic human value. So why would I put myself under an individual I don't even really see as a human being? He's not a complete human being like me. So that's at the root of the ability to disrespect the man that you with at any given time for any possible reason, to rebel against anything that he says, because that education that you got bolsters the concept that you learn even without formal education, that you were smarter, you were more intelligent, you were more capable than Black men overall. It's also a part of the rebellion. Again, you don't trust his foresight. You don't trust his leadership. He's not doing things in the time frame that you think he should do things. Therefore, he's incompetent. And then that means you have to jump in the masculine seat and run the relationship. And when he doesn't let you, he's controlling. And if he does let you, you complain about it because you shouldn't, quote unquote, have to be running things. He should step up and be a man and take care of it, and then you wouldn't be, quote unquote, in your masculine energy doing it. But the reality is you don't want a man that is actually fully in his masculine, because that puts you either in your feminine or out. This is why you're not getting married. The higher education actually seals what's been going on in terms of the thoughts of feminism and misandry that's already present and prevalent in Black female culture. You just go to school and Zaddy put the stamp on it. And anything, we know that a lot of y'all are sellouts, so anything that Zaddy put his stamp on can't be a lie. That's why you will deny your lived experience in preference for the narrative that he give you about your own men that you grow up with and grow up around. See, the difference between Black women and Black men in this whole quote unquote gender war is Black women will rely on the narrative given to them by the so-called dominant society. Black men are talking about their lived experience. That's different. See what I mean? So this is why y'all can't get married. This is why you're educated, but you're undesirable. Don't nobody like you. Because you are disrespectful, you're rebellious, and you're not compliant. Those are not desirable traits for any woman of any educational level. is what you don't understand. You think getting that education gives you the right to do that, and really it don't. Because what you show in the world is you don't know how to be a woman. You learned all of this. You learned went to school to learn how to be an astrophysicist. You go to the moon, but you don't know how to be a woman here on Earth. So sound off in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I'm your host, The Crimson Cure, and this was my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.
Hey guys, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. And if you've got more to say on the topic, leave a comment down below. Also, don't forget to support our sponsor, who so graciously supports this channel by clicking the description box and the link for A-Game at agameherbal.com. You can go ahead and get a 10% discount off of your next purchase using the code Kendra10. This has been yet another Crimson Cure production, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.